You ever have one of those mornings where you wake up feeling like everything's finally about to go your way, and then just like that, your entire world goes off the rails? That was me standing on my brand new dock at Silver Pine Lake, clutching a box marked Kitchen Fragile, while the sound of police sirens sliced through the sunrise, making the birds go dead silent. Two squad cars pulled up in a cloud of dust right next to my moving truck, and before I could even wave or say hello, a woman in a blinding neon pink visor marched out like she owned the entire county clipboard out front, like she was leading a cavalry charge. Behind her came this odd little parade of neighbors, some still in pajamas and slippers, all rubbernecking to see what crime could possibly happen at 7 a.m. at Silver Pine. Then this woman and she had the energy of someone who's been waiting her whole life for a moment like this, points her French-tipped finger at me so dramatically I half expected a bolt of lightning. "That's him," she shrieks. "He's trespassing. I demand you arrest him immediately. He's been here since 6 a.m. disturbing the peace." The lead officer looked like he'd seen it all, glanced from her to me with the patience of a saint. His partner, way younger, barely kept a straight face. "Ma'am, can you tell us what's happening here?" Turns out this was Carol Peaton's self-declared queen of the Lakeshore Estates HOA, wrapped in matching pink from head to toe, right down to sneakers squeaking on the gravel. She parked her fists on her hips, puffed up like a barnyard turkey. "This man is illegally occupying this cabin. No permits, no authorization, violating at least 17 bylaws." She waves her clipboard in the air like it's a loaded weapon. I set my box down slow, kept my voice calm, and pulled up my phone. "Officer, I'm Drew Sullivan. I just closed on this cabin last week. Belonged to my Uncle Frank. He left it to me in his will. I show him the deed." And Carol just about turns purple. Impossible. Every property on this lake falls under our HOA. I oversee all new residents, and this man never submitted an application. The officer scans my documents, calm as can be, while Carol continues. "He hasn't paid HOA fees, hasn't attended orientation. His truck's blocking the scenic view." The second officer finally asks, "Is his property even part of your HOA?" And Carol, not missing a beat, declares, "Everything within a mile of Lakeshore Estates belongs to us. I can't help myself. Actually, this cabin's been here 40 years longer than your neighborhood. My uncle never joined an HOA." Carol's eyes narrow behind rhinestone sunglasses. "We'll see about that, Mr. Sullivan. Nobody makes a fool of Carol Peaton." She storms off, pink shoes squealing, but not before neighbors start giving me these awkward glances, some sympathetic, most just wary, like they're picking sides before the game even starts. The police apologize as they leave, and I swear one of them whispers, "Good luck." Then, like something out of a sitcom, Carol sets up camp right at my property line. Folding chair, thermos, and a camera lens big enough for National Geographic. She starts snapping photos, my truck, my boxes, even the sandwich on my porch. "That's improperly stored food," she yells. "Health code violation, wildlife hazard." I look at my sandwich and back at her. "It's just a turkey on rye, Carol." "That's President Peaton to you," she snaps. "That's another violation. $50 fine." She actually writes it down, dead serious. Next 3 days, I wake up every morning to her with a new list of violations. My dock's too long, my trash cans are the wrong color, the movers left tire tracks. These carry serious fines, she tells me on day 3, shoving a stack of paper at me. $900 for the dock, $600 for the bins, while on $200 for the road. The paperwork is in Comic Sans, complete with little gavel clip art. I try to reason with her again. "Carol, I'm not in your HOA. These fines mean nothing." She just laughs like an old gate swinging in the wind. "Oh, you sweet summer child, your uncle got away with it, but I'm president now. Things have changed." Well, she was half right. That night I started digging through county records online. Took me maybe 2 hours to find everything I needed. Not only was my cabin never part of the HOA, but the association had been building on state land for years. Their private beach, their fancy boat launch, even the walking trail, all built where they had no right. But the real kicker, emails between Carol and the old board talking about establishing dominance over non-member properties by hassling them into compliance. I barely slept that night. I was so fired up. Next morning, I made some calls, state environmental folks, county commissioner, Department of Natural Resources. Everybody was interested in what I had to say. Meanwhile, Carol kept upping her game. I came home from the grocery store to find orange tape across my dock like a crime scene, a laminated sign nailed to my tree declaring I'd violated Regulation 473B, unauthorized watercraft mooring, which was wild because I didn't even own a boat. She recruited 3 ladies in matching visors, her so-called compliance committee. They'd take turns standing watch, jotting down everything I did. Grilled burgers, excessive smoke emissions. Hammered a loose board, unauthorized construction. The last straw was the decibel meter, Carol waving it like a wizard staff, announcing my footsteps on the dock were aggressive stomping. 82 decibels, she crows, above the threshold. I stare at her, biting back a laugh. Carol, that's a garbage disposal. It's not walking. It's intentional disturbance, she insists, while her committee nods along. I'd had enough. I documented everything, then went on the offensive. First inspector rolled in a week later. Carol met him at the driveway, clipboard ready until he introduced himself from the State Environmental Agency. I sipped my coffee, grinning as he took soil samples and measured the private beach. County surveyor spent 2 days remarking property lines, and the Public Access Committee opened an investigation into the blocked lake access. With every official visit, Carol got more and more frazzled, her visor always a little more crooked. The HOA held an emergency meeting, and I decided to show up, see the drama firsthand. Carol tried to control the room from the podium, accusing me of targeted harassment. Then a guy up front raises his hand. Carol, is it true? The state fined us? $50,000 for the wetlands? Carol stammers. That's under negotiation. Someone else yells, what about the cease and desist on the beach? Now the whole room's buzzing and I stand up, folder in hand. May I speak? Carol, face tight as a drum, says, you're not a member. But the treasurer cuts in. Given this affects the whole lake. Let's hear him. So I lay out the documents, original surveys, state findings, legal boundaries. Your HOA's been claiming land it doesn't own for years, my place, 3 other old cabins, and a bunch of protected shoreline. The place explodes, neighbors shouting over each other, board members flipping through paperwork, faces going pale. Carol bangs her gavel so hard it snaps, head flying into a pitcher of lemonade. Lies, she screams. He forged these. He's working for the government. This is a conspiracy. But the treasurer holds up an email. Carol, this is from your account, talking about establishing dominance over non-compliant properties. That's out of context. Carol sputters, face red as her tracksuit. Subject line literally says Operation Total Lake Control. Another board member points out. Suddenly, Janet, neighbor from 2 houses over, stands up waving her own stack of papers. Carol fined me $600 for a blue kayak, $400 for a whimsical doormat, $800 for wind chimes. Pretty soon, everyone's jumping in garden gnomes, bird feeders, even a citation for unapproved lawn color. It's clear Carol's power trip went way beyond just me. Eventually, the state judge made it official. The HOA was ordered to remove all structures from protected land within 60 days, lost all authority over the waterfront, and owed a whopping $175,000 in fines. But the kicker, the real twist, was the judge barring Carol from any HOA role for 10 years, citing intentional misrepresentation and harassment. Carol lost it, tried to lunge for the judge visor, flying husband dragging her back. The judge slammed the gavel, added $5,000 for contempt, and the room emptied out while Carol sat there stunned, mouth opening and closing like a fish on dry land. Walking back to my dock that night, the lake looked calm again, like none of it ever happened. But if you think that's the end, you don't know small towns. Because by sunrise, half the neighborhood was buzzing about who'd be the next HOA president and whether the whole system was doomed or saved. So let me ask you, what would you have done in my shoes? Was I out of line fighting back, or was this the only way to deal with a bully in power? Is justice always this messy? Drop your thoughts below, because around here the story's never really over.